Oh, a walking tower. You know, I like the idea of a walking tower. That's interesting. And I have made a tower mimic before, so I think I'll use that same kind of style. So what we'll do is we'll pick a tower that we want, and I'm going to pick a tower that's kind of interesting and fairly large, because if it's too small, then how will I make the body, right? So I'll take a look at what our options are. We want to pick a theme. I'm going to go with isometric. There's this tower right here. Oh, a wizard tower. Okay, let's take a look at our tower options here. Let's pick one from the newer art. I don't want to pick a tower from the older Fantasy World stuff, so let's just kind of look it over. This one's interesting. I kind of like that one. Yeah, if you type in Mimic Tower in the Explore page or on my profile, I think you should find it. That was really fun to make, by the way. I really like that stuff. Let's pick a tower that I think would work well. You know, I kind of like this one right here. This is kind of cool. It's asymmetrical. It has a little, I'm not sure what this is called, this little tower at the top. I forgot the name of those. An Oriole, I think. I always forget the name of it. Let's scale up. So I'll make it nice and big. And then what I'll do from here is I'll maybe have like a series of arms coming out of windows that are like, that make it walk. And so like maybe like a spider, multiple arms. I don't want to go with 2 legs. I want to go with multiple legs. And it kind of makes sense, right? It's a tower. It's heavy. And to make sure that it can sustain the weight, it's going to need multiple crawling like legs for it to work. So what I'll do is I'll use the shape tool to create a series of windows on it. So shape tool, we'll go with the pen. We'll choose a black color. Let's actually go with, let's see here. Let's have fill black like this, and then I'll zoom in, and then I'll use the pen to create a series of windows. So there's one there, copy, paste. There we go, one window. Oopsie, I don't want it to be blurred, so let's turn off the blur. There we go. And then I'll copy, paste, put another one here. I can also flip this, so if I go to flip like this, now I have another window over here. Copy, paste, another window over here. Let's maybe put one right there. I'll have to rotate it a little bit. And then another one over here. We'll flip it. Let's make it a little bit smaller. I don't want all the windows to be the exact same size. So we'll maybe put a small one here, small one there, maybe a decent size big one here. I do want to put a decent amount at the base of it, because that's where the legs are going to come out. So there's going to be legs coming out of the arms, or legs coming out of the windows. Sorry, did I say arms? There we go. Copy, paste. That looks good. Okay, I think that looks good. I'll go ahead and just group this, and we'll call it tower. And then what I'll do from here, oopsie, did it not select them all? There we go. Create group tower. My mistake. Create. And then what I'll do is I'll rotate it a little bit, because I want it to show that it's in motion. If it's straight up at the perfect angle like this, it's going to look like it's not really moving. But if I rotate it just a hair like this, it's going to have this notion that this thing is not stationary, right? It's going to tilt back and forth to the side and to the side when it's moving, right? So that's going to be helpful. Next, we'll use the same thing. We're going to use maybe some black lines to create the arms that kind of comes out of it. Yeah, I like that idea. Let's bring this, let me just check to see the size. About that size. Let's make it a little bit bigger. That big looks fine. And to show the spider legs, what I'll do is I'll have it go up like this, one going down like this, and another one going down like that. So that's about the spider leg that I kind of want there. I'll go with this, make it a little bit bigger like that. And then I can just make a series of these legs kind of coming out like this. So there's 2 there. Put one there. Let's put one maybe like right here. Kind of a Howl's Moving Castle kind of thing. And then I'll take the layer, bring it down, and put it behind it. And then let's put some legs behind. There we go. Okay, so now we kind of have this like spider, like walking tower. Utterly mortifying, if you ask me. I might want to make the legs be a little bit bigger, maybe, on this side. So I'll go ahead and just make these just a little bit kind of bigger. There we go. I'm noticing all the lines too, and they might have a shadow on them. Let me make sure that those are turned off. Oopsie, not select that one. There we go. Is there a shadow on? Yes, there is. There we go. Turn that shadow off. And then I'll use this thicker one to kind of represent, oopsie, this needs to go up front. There we go. And I'll take this thicker one. That way my legs are a little thicker at the top. There we go. And I can even make them a little thicker at the bottom, I think, just to make it a little bit more unique. And then what I could do is maybe make some little tiny legs or little tiny feet at the bottom like this. And then I can go ahead and take that whole thing. Oopsie, unselect this. There we go. And we'll create group. Create. I'm going to copy and paste. And then I'll just kind of place these little legs, these little foot and legs on the side here. So that way they have some support when they're walking. Like this. There we go. Copy, paste. And now you have kind of like this walking kind of creature. There we go. I think that looks good. Yep, that looks good. All right, let's bring the scale down a little bit. And now it is a wizard tower, so I think we should add a little more to it. For instance, like maybe we should have some lights coming out of it, or maybe there's a summoning circle at the top of it, or a summoning circle at the bottom of it. I don't know. It could be a number of things. Let's bring the scale down like this. And let's maybe look up summon. There shouldn't be any in Fantasy World, but there should be in other styles. So we can use maybe one of these. It is a mage tower of some type. So what we could do is we could choose like one of these, put it at the top. Like this. And the way that I go about making summoning circles is really simple. Right now you have a flat orthographic summoning circle. But if I take that hotbar and then scale it way down, now I have this floating summoning circle like this. And I'll rotate it to fit right above the tower like this. Like that. I can change the hue to whatever color I want it to be. Purple, greens. I kind of like that color right there. That looks good. We could also take a light source, put that in the center of it. Like take a light source, put it right in the center, like that. We might want to change the color a little bit to like more of a more bluish color. Copy, paste. Yeah, all kinds of things that we can kind of do here. Let's add more light sources there. There we go. That looks good. That looks good. And then what we can do is maybe having some, maybe there's like some chanting wizards inside of the building. And for the building to move and to come to life, it requires the cooperation of all the mages that live within the tower. So we can maybe have some magic coming out of the other windows and then have that magic connecting to the summoning circle. So we could go ahead and take the light like this. Let's go ahead and use this same one right here. We'll change the color to be more of that kind of more greenish, like blue light color. Let me go ahead and just add a little bit here just to see what it looks like when I add it on here. Let me take a look at that. Let's maybe bring... the brightness up a little bit more on this one. Let's also change maybe the blend mode to lighten, maybe. Let me see, overlay. Let's try overlay. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and have these kind of light. I'm going to have it kind of connect. So it's going to go like this. Out of this window and then up into here like that. Out of this window, connecting up into here. Out of this window, coming into here. And then each one of these lights, each one of these is some kind of mage trying to use the magic. There we go, like that. And then I think also I'm going to change the blend mode of this summoning circle. It has a thick outline, but if I change it to like lighten or overlay, I can kind of remove some of that. I'll bring the brightness up. There we go. There we go. And I think, there you go. Pretty simple stuff. The summoning circle at the top, magic coming in, coming out And then what we can also do is you can also do a couple other things. You can put a shadow underneath the tower to show that there's some height to it. So if I take this fill, go blur, bring the opacity way down, I'm going to go ahead and use a circle like this. Let's make it about that size. Looks good. Let's bring the blur up a little bit more. There we go. And I'll put this down all the way to layer -5. And if I put a little shadow underneath, now it kind of looks like the tower is more hovering above the ground, right? You couldn't tell really at first. It kind of looks like maybe it's just sitting on the ground and the legs are coming out of it. That doesn't work, right? So to adding a little shadow underneath gives this kind of illusion that it's kind of hovering above. And even that shadow might be a little too big. We can just put it right underneath like that.